So guys, you know what they say, happy life, well, you need a happy wife. And I make my wife happy all the time. But when it comes to hunting, normally I don't have to, because most of the things that I buy are actually her idea. So like right now, I bought some First Light pants. Well, she bought them for me. It was a gift. And it was a gift that I'm kind of a penny pincher to an extent. I spend my money on things for videos for YouTube because that's something that makes me happy. But when it came to roughing it out in the wild, I'm like, man, I was in the military. I'll rock these cheap pants because, you know, they're cheap camel pants. They're going to get ripped and torn. Wife talked me into getting some First Light pants. I said, okay, I don't think I want to get them. And then she bought them for me for my birthday. And I was pretty happy and excited about that. They're the best pants that I own, hands down. But with this trip, I had to buy a cooler, which was not her idea, but it was definitely necessary for the amount of meat that I think we're going to be getting. And I bought a lot of other stuff too. Which brings us to some of the other items that we ordered. They're all coming in today, so I haven't got a chance to put my hands on them, but we got a grinder because we're going to process this deer ourselves. We got a sealer. We got a sealer. That's actually coming today too. The cooler already came. I'm going to show you that in a second. But with every time I buy something, you got it. Key got herself something. And if you can see right there, she's redoing her pedal board. She got a little power amp. I guess it's a power amp. She got herself a power amp, which is cool because normally she finds things for the best deal and she's swapping out parts. So it kind of pays for itself. If I bought the last part, she sells it, maybe, you know, takes a little bit of loss. But then normally it's all recuperated in the next piece of equipment that she gets. And she uses all of it. This is our little studio. It's not really made up right now, and you guys seen it before. It's normally where I edit my videos and Key records her music. Look at the baby. Look at her. My baby's about to be, look at her. She's so cute. She's about to be a 1 next Tuesday. I can't wait to get her something. Guys, there we go. Guys, let me know what I should get my 1-year-old German Shepherd for her birthday. Some people say get her a cheeseburger, just one. Other people have said get her turkey and just stack it up like a cake. Put some mashed potatoes, you know, on the side and make it like icing. I have no idea what to get her. I know the treats that they make for dogs, she don't like them. We tried to doing that for when she turned, how many months, Key?
It was Valentine's Day.
It was Valentine's Day. We bought some of that stuff that looked like it would taste good. And she looked at us like,
y'all crazy.
Despicable. But yeah, leave us links below, or, you know, ideas about whatever y'all think would be a good treat. And toys. We need toys too. She goes through these toys. Look at her. She's tearing through this toy right now. She's just spending her time. Look at her new collar. This collar came in today too. Key got her new collar. I think it's so pretty. Look at her. Okay, let's go over to this to check out this cooler situation. While we're walking by, for some reason my Connect, it's not working. I don't get it. These are some boots I got, just something in the clutch. My other ones are still muddy and they got a hole in them. I'm packing already. Baby, watch out. Let them see what I got. All right, my backpack needs to be packed. I'm gonna actually bring 2 backpacks so I can have enough gear. One for the hunting stuff and one for my clothes. This cooler is nice. Got really big, nice handles on the side. Hopefully they say that I'm supposed to get 3 deer. So I'm pretty, hey, I look good. I'm supposed to get 3 deer. And I think these probably be the biggest deer I get too. And the most deer I've taken and all my hunting, which isn't that impressive because I just started hunting last year and I liked it so much, but I didn't feel like it was super challenging since I have so much experience shooting guns, rifles, that I figure I'll get into bow hunting. I say I figured like it was my idea. It's not. Most things is Key's idea and I just implement them. But man, I got so many other things to do. Oh man, got some bad news, guys. I was out here getting one little more session of practice and I kind of damaged, you can see, Yeah, I'm missing one of the fletchings on that one. They have 3. Normally, this one has 2, so I gotta go get that checked out. These are the practice heads. These little blades don't actually open up like they do when I'm shooting from like the real ones, the real heads. So they're good practice. They give you an idea. They give you an idea of, you know, how the trajectory of the arrow is going to be. If you can see that, there you go. Sweet. Tears my stuff up pretty good too. These don't. As you can see, they pull in and out really quick. What are you choking on? Oh, she got some of this insulation in her. All right, give me a second. So after finding out what's wrong with one of my arrows and knowing I need to get a few more anyway, I'm waiting on Anaya to get here. But while I was waiting, guess what came? All right, so the food grinder made it, and this is one of those food savers. Look at that, boy. Gonna have that meat prepared and vacuum sealed. So I'm pretty excited about getting a few things. You know, they cost a little grip, but in the long run, I will be better for it tomorrow. All right, so guys, I have my handy dandy buddy.
Hi.
It's Anaya, and we're heading over to Fort Grard to get everything situated with my bow. I might get them to oil it up. I don't know, depending on how busy they are. But I know I need to get some more practice arrows and fix the fletching on that one arrow. Plus, I just like going up there and, you know, shooting a weapon a little bit. It gives Anaya, since she doesn't have a bow yet, it gives her time to practice until she gets herself one. You know, get some range time. She really enjoys that. So it works really, really well for both of us.
Oh yeah.
So we're in the back of Fort Grard where all the magic happens, and the owner's finna show me a little something about how to do paper tuning. Now this one's for free, guys. He's gonna show y'all how to do it, but it costs a grip if you don't know who you're talking to. And this is the man.
In paper tuning, one of the biggest things is paper tuning all starts with the bow being set up properly to begin with. Proper center shot, proper timing between your cams to cam, and proper timing between your drop-aways in relationship to your cams touching at the same time. Now what happens a lot of times, we see that even coming from the manufacturer straight out of the box, the cams may or may not be in time. So it's important that you check that. Now this bow was just set up, everything's timed on it. We're going to shoot it. We're going to start first with an arrow. We're going to make sure that the arrow that we're using for the paper tune process is a perfect arrow and it's not have a wobble or whatever that could cause a flight fire problem. So I keep a lot of different arrows up here. I'm going to come over here to the spin tester. I'm going to make sure that the arrow I'm choosing to shoot through the paper tune actually performs well. Doesn't have a bad wobble in it, doesn't do real bad kicking. Tip stays pretty at point. So now I'm going to take this. Now, the very active paper tuning sometimes is a misunderstanding. It's not actually showing that your bow is completely set up perfect 100%, but what it is showing you is that your bow in relationship to your arrow are matched together. We're tuning this bow to whatever arrow we intend to shoot. In this case, I'm just shooting a Pierce Platinum through it just to see we're close. And when the owner of the bow gets here, we'll have them finish and do the shots with their arrows and stuff. Paper tunes aren't a one-shot wonder. Paper tunes are actually, you should be able to shoot over and over and over when a bow is set up properly. Now, this hole right here, for me, this is the hole we just shot. And if you'll notice, when I fold this down, it's just a tad high, just a fudge high. And that's for that arrow. Now we haven't done anything but set everything perfectly level, perfectly center shot, and all our timing. I'm going to shoot it one more time. Now I can adjust this and take that out strictly by lowering the rest just a tad bit, but I don't know what arrow he's shooting. So adjusting it's kind of a futile process at this point. I'm going to be shooting, just for your benefit, right in this area here. Both shots are showing just a tad high for that particular arrow. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show everybody the difference. I'm going to get a different arrow with a different diameter. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm going to show you how important it is not to use up these timing marks. These are micro timing marks. You have them here, and if you'll notice, you have a screw here, but on the back side you have all your timing marks right in here. If your bow shop is using all that up, you're not going to be able to make the adjustment if you change arrows. Now in this case, I'm going to change an arrow just to see how it affects the paper tuning. This is a white-tailed hunter. The last one was a Pierce Platinum. This is a bigger shaft. That's a micro shaft.
Now, he did all this talking and still has not introduced himself yet.
I'm Randy Grard, Fort Grard gun and archery owner.
This guy's a boss hog. Every time I come down here, I learn something new. Okay,
Now,
that's completely different looking.
You see the difference in the tears between this one and this one? Because in this case, this one's kicking up just a little bit more than the other one. Now, just for show purposes, I'm going to go back to the Platinum. I'll be right back. I got to get a wrench. It's minor amount adjustment. We put this dead level, but we have a little bit of playroom in here that can affect how the nock travels. This arrow, this bow and this arrow is shooting that arrow just micro high. So all I'm going to do is lower the tip down. I got to loosen this up. I should look at the other side to see exactly which nock and point nock I'm on, but I'm only going to move it very, very. Get it to scoot down. They're very minor. I want to try to keep it as much to the middle for the customer's benefit. So if that customer changes arrows, weights, grains, wants to shoot heavier broadheads, they have all of their adjustments. This is not, I've said it a million times, this is not a Bowtech adjustment. The only time we're going to use this adjustment is for micro tuning, for paper tuning. If we're using all of that adjustment up, we've done something wrong. We should be using maybe one line. Now, I have a fletching issue right here, just a little bit. See it curving up? So it might give a little different tear, but we'll see. I'm going to be shooting, I tell you what, let me get you some fresh paper so that there's absolutely no doubt where we're going. Yeah, those are magnets, in case anybody's wondering. That's a metal frame. We build our own paper tuning devices here at Fort Grard Guns and Archery. I'm going to go pretty much dead center. Now I dropped it just a little bit. See the difference? Look how much it changed that shot.
Wow.
Now what happened just then is because I dropped it just a little bit, I don't want to just do with that wrench, there it is. What just happened is by making that drop, it changed the timing of this drop away. These two marks right here, they have to be dead in line. This only goes this far. They have to be across from each other, but it changed the timing, these two marks right here, by doing that. So it's kind of one of those things, people say, well, you know, it's close. Yeah, close isn't close enough, and you just watched a major change happen on how this drop away reacted by making a very minimum change in it. It went from almost perfect paper tune to a rip and tear.
So right now all you're doing is adjusting it closer to the other direction?
Back to where it was at, back in the center.
Just so when the owner comes or whoever ends up getting it, you can make the final little touch to it.
Right, because here's the thing. Me paper tuning the bow for me shooting is a fallacy. It's not for you. You're the owner of the bow. So, but I do have a problem a lot of times. A lot of times I'll have a situation to where I can get a paper tune, a beautiful shot, even on a bow that's not paper tuned. And that's my worst fear, because I don't want you leaving here unless the bow's perfect. So to keep that from happening, I actually spent money and bought what I call as a referee. It's in this other room over here. This is the device that we mounted right here. This is the referee. This is a Coop's Bowsmith. custom mounted on a table. And what it is the bow mounts here, it cocks back, nobody holds it. It becomes the referee. And then all you do, once the bow is cocked back, is you hit that trigger right there. It'll open up the jaws at that point. And because the jaws will shut like that, you hit the trigger. And it shoots it. Zero torque, zero arrow, zero problems. And that's going to tell you if you have a true bow that's paper tuned properly. Now, I played a little bit with the rest, and then we're going to go back over and put it back on center shot. Now, if you'll notice, at the very beginning of your video, we were close to center. Well, I'm still close, but let's see what the difference is, because I am no longer, is it set up according to the way we do our leveling. You saw at the beginning when it was done right, and now.
And then they'll do it, okay.
So that little bit of movement made that much difference in that. You can imagine all you guys that have your bows that are out of time by 2 or 3 marks. I moved it basically a mark, and that's the 2 difference in the tears. So it's very, very, very important that this be timed. If you'll notice on this particular rest, we put the spacer on it. We're almost dead center on our timing marks. This customer will be allowed to move it left or right. We're almost dead center. And this mounting, which is these marks right here, customer will be allowed to move it up and down as he or she changes arrows. Once again, we put it on timing boards. You'll see them all around here. We have 4 or 5 of them. We've timed our cams to make sure the cams rotate equally and hit the string at the exact same time. And then we timed our drop away to mirror and marry the cam timing, so that at the exact moment that this comes around here and touches the string, these 2 lines will line up. And what that does is, that means immediately upon the release of the string, you'll see movement right here. When you overtime this, the amount of overtime that you have, and you pull this, because you run out of this, hits the end of its pull, you hit the end of your cable, you end up pulling this cable toward it. And see that bottom cam movement? That pulls this whole bow out of time. And worse than that, while that's done, when you shoot it, this will not move until after all of that overtime catches up and it hits the actual timing mark, and then it'll start to drop. That's why you guys are getting really bad tail whip and stuff, because if you'll notice, I don't know if you can get up on them timing marks, those 2 timing marks, when this is maxed out or that close, that's as far as it goes. And see how close they are? And somebody will say, well, that's just a little overtime. That's as far as you'll ever get it. You can pull this bow and it breaks in half. It'll never get any better than that. Come see us at Fort Grard Guns and Archery. We walk our customers through everything we do. We explain the hows, the whys, and extremely why it's important. Now listen, everybody can shoot an arrow at 20 yards and they hit a target. That doesn't mean that you're getting what you paid for on a bow. If you want to shoot tight groups, you have to tune them just like they're designed to be, Cadillacs. They are top of the line. You take shortcuts, you'll have shortcut results.
So that's why I love that guy. Man, so much knowledge in such a small period of time. I came here for a little grain of knowledge, and I got so much. All right, guys, so we're leaving Fort Grard right now. It's dark outside. We stayed long because there was so much information to get, and so many things that I wanted to ask about, and some adjustments I wanted to make to my bow. And then I got a little shooting going on. How'd you do?
I did in the middle, kind of good.
All right, so hopefully whenever she gets her own bow, only reason I'm hesitating, there's a door right here. Hesitating to go out because I know it's dark and y'all won't be able to see me. But I think right now is a good place to end this video. Guys, I really appreciate y'all liking, subscribing, following. It means the world to me. But I gotta go.